First off, thank you guys for coming today. But I want to also thank Servpro and the First Responders Bowl, the city of Dallas. What gracious hosts they've been. Every single person we've encountered with the bowl game has been absolutely fantastic. It's been a wonderful trip for us and a great way to cap off a season filled of ups and downs. But to come out and win the way we did today was a great moment for our program. So proud of our guys' resiliency today and leading up to this game, right? We're going to gain from those wins and losses that we happened to in the season, and we're going to celebrate this and be proud of the moment. But with our eyes moving forward for bigger and brighter things ahead for this Memphis Tiger program. But proud of their guys, proud of our seniors. That one was for them. They poured so much into this program. All our great fans that showed up from the city of Memphis, man, they were awesome. It was good to see them out there. But an honor and privilege to coach this team and bright days ahead for us.
When you talk about the ups and downs, what did you see out of this locker room during that time to be able to?
Yeah, Frank, I think you go back and sadly I can in my brain I can tell you every single moment. Right, we talked about the way the first game went versus Mississippi State, and everybody says, "Oh, this isn't the team we hoped it would be," and then the resiliency to bounce back versus Navy. And then you talk about what happened versus Houston, and the guys came back, and the game didn't go the way we wanted versus East Carolina, but no one thought we didn't come out and battle, right, in a 4 overtime game. And so throughout this season, the wins and losses, this team has never given up. I'm so fortunate those locker room full of young men are high character guys they've created a wonderful culture that believe and fight. And they've had my back and I've got theirs for life. And that's why I had no doubt in my mind that they'd come out ready to play. And it didn't matter where, when, whatever it looked like, our guys were going to be ready, and just proud of them. And the credit to our guys for coming out and coming prepared. Obviously, also credit to Utah State, the heck of a ball club. Coach Anderson's done a fantastic job. But the resiliency that I've seen from our guys, even the ups and downs of the season, has always been there and it hasn't wavered.
Talk about how satisfying it is, Coach, in seeing this.
Yeah, I think I can finally exhale. I mean, you guys know good and well, and I don't try to hide from it, that the college football season's quite different, and the job of a head coach is unique year to year. And the season has been tough, and I always admit that no one's pleased with the final record, but to get a bowl win and as a champion, that's huge, because you look at there's only so many teams in college football that can end as champions, and to be able to come back with another bowl trophy, it's huge. And I think a lot of people, our fans included, and the guys in the locker room know we've got bright days ahead, and we're really excited. We're going to enjoy this one for the next couple hours, and then I'm sure I'll be back at it watching film and recruiting and preparing for the 2023 football season.
Ryan, I know this is your first trip to Dallas that you meet and with a win. So on a personal note, I know Dallas has been good to you as a city, but how did it feel for you personally to get that first win in this city?
Yeah, I try not to ever take things personally, right? Like, hey, it's always about our program or our ball club. And you think about, during the COVID year and, first off, obviously the Cotton Bowl game, and disappointed with the end result of that. But obviously that was a great moment in program history. And then the COVID year, we came down here and lost kind of last second. And then you look at what happened this past time we were in the stadium. Well, last time we were doing a press conference, I was sitting there shaking my head, said, woulda, coulda, shoulda. And that was kind of the story of a lot of our season, right? A 3-point loss, a chance to maybe go to overtime. We end with a turnover in the end zone on the hill. And I think the bounce back by guys like Seth Hennigan, who came out and played his tail off, kind of show you what the resiliency we're all about. And for me, that's why it's personal. And I'm proud of being able to get a win today because of what it meant to those guys in the locker room. It's all about the team, and just it's an honor and privilege to be their head coach.
Ryan, I know you guys are looking ahead now, but I mean, some of the players said to me that they wanted to use this game as a boost for next season. So for you guys to kind of not just get this win, but as you're looking ahead, we got something to build on. What does that say about these guys knowing that, hey, they do believe that there are brighter days ahead? Yeah, absolutely, Evan. I think that's one of such unique thing is I can never tell that story to the media or portray the beliefs and thoughts of the love and the bond that we have in that locker room. And it's so unique, and coaches can talk about it and you guys can say, blah, 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 who cares, win games. And I get that. And that's what we should. And that's ultimately what's judged by it. But I think they understood and how close we are and what we're capable of and how good we really can be. And it's my job is to get us
cross that finish line to bigger and brighter days and compete for championships, because that's what we expect. And I am proud that so many of those guys on our team and our roster understand, hey, there are great things ahead. Recruiting's going wonderfully, and looking forward to 2023 and beyond.
Ryan, after that missed interception, Utah State school set touchdown, did it enter your mind? Here we go again.
I had a big lump in my throat, and probably my pulse probably stopped for a few minutes. I mean, because you sit there and look, and Savant Oliver, right, had 2 picks, at third, and that ball hit him square, and maybe bounced off his face mask. I mean, and you sit there and say, "Wow, is this? What did we do wrong? Why is the ball not bouncing our way?" And but no, because the guys knew. I mean, they're like, that we ain't letting this crap happen again. And so, credit to our young men on the sideline said, "No, here we go. We'll tighten this ship and make sure we secure this win." But look, I was not even on that. We're taking the knees. I'm sitting there saying, "Okay, make sure the snap's clean. Make sure we're doing that." Because that's the nature of college football. It's not over till it's over. But played a 4-quarter game. Was it perfect? No, but at the end of the day, a 28-point bowl win we'll take.
In the second quarter, you guys dominated both offensively and defensively. What did you see in that second quarter that kind of propelled you next step?
Yeah, I do like to show our guys what occurs in bowl games, because you look in some of these teams, we watch some bowl games that occurred, on the 17th and 18th and earlier in December, and say, this team was more talented than this team. And this team that's not as talented whipped the crap out of the other one because they weren't as prepared, or they didn't want it as bad. I think for us, what happened that second quarters, we kind of got our legs back underneath us. It was even funny. Yes, we practice and we put ourselves in real situations, but there's nothing to be said, with a month of downtime, there's no way to prepare for an actual deal right there. High tempo offense. Even our offensive line was like, man, it feels good to hit again. And we hit, but there's nothing like going out there and lining up. And I think we finally settled down and said, okay, here we go. We're playing football again at a great pace. And I think that kind of helped us. Everybody took a deep breath. And still the ebbs and flows of a football game. And that's what happens. But that second quarter obviously was probably the sticking point for us to be able to get over the hump and give us a chance to win this game.
Coach, talk about the physicality because that's a mindset. And Coach Anderson was worried about that with you all, and you all came out and showed him exactly why he was worried about it.
Yeah, well, look, I think that's one of those things we always want to hang our hat on, is being a physical ball club. And was it perfect? No, right? A lot of teams say, hey, being physical is just about running the football and stopping the run. But I think it's just showing up, down and down, out. And I think that's the word resiliency we used earlier. And just the way the guys did show up, right? Was it perfect? Heck no. But we're always, going to hang our hat and being a 901 football team that's freaking going to come after you. And proud of that. And I think our guys showed it, and we got to continue to build off that physicality. But anytime you can sit there and say, okay, that's what another coach is thinking about, that means you're doing things the right way.
Ryan, Jay and Ace finished the game really strong. I think kind of what Doc said, physicality is so important. With the way you guys want to be a run-heavy team, how good was to kind of end the game with Jay and Ace, kind of just giving those last blows to kind of put this away? Yeah,
look, I think anytime you can finish the game in 22 personnel, it's always a good thing. I go back to, our bowl game in Montgomery, right? The second half of the fourth quarter, right? We just lined up in 22 personnel and we called runs, and we had a couple in there. And then, when they almost had that goal line stand, it's like, oh, here we go. What the heck's going on? But then, to be able to burst one out of under center and be able to do that, and Jay being able to break it, I think is huge. And Ace running the ball hard. Even Sutton broke a few tackles here and there. So you put that combination. I thought the receivers blocked pretty darn well on the perimeter. That's part of the physicality you're looking for. And anytime you can end the game with the ball in your hands, it means you're doing stuff right.
Seth has been such a major part of what you guys have been doing. And after to work through ending the SMU game the way he did, how good was it to see him play the way he played in this game?
Yeah, you sit there and think about it, right? That's a tough pill to swallow, to come back home versus a conference opponent and end a game the way it did last time we played SMU, right? And that's a 19-year-old. That's a lot on his shoulders, and ultimately I'll put that on me. But he's the type of guy that you could just tell, like I'm sure he wished we played a December 7th bowl game, like just so he could get it out of his system and go show everybody who he really is. But to his credit, you know, you sit there and you get the bowl draw. This has been a privilege to be here at this bowl game, but like, okay, wait, we're going back. Wait, we're the visiting team. We're in the same locker room, and it was the same, you know, same dressing room, same everything, same stadium. Holy cow! And Seth's going back home. Like, is he going to be having flashbacks and all this stuff? No, he's such a mentally tough young man, and he's physically tough, but he's one of those that's got such great focus. For seeing him come out and do what he did statistically today and lead our team to victory has been huge. And so that kind of just shows you the type of young man he is. There's a reason why we're hanging the hat on, and I have since a true freshman, right? And a lot of people said, why didn't you go with this route? Why? Because you believe in him. And I don't think everybody that goes and watch him play understand he's a winner. And we'll bounce back the way he did in this stadium. Quite proud.
It feels somewhat full circle when you're first in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, 4 years there, full cycle. When you're back here in Dallas and you get a bowl win.
Yeah, you know, I did not even think about that until this morning. I woke up way too early and sat there and said, you know, it's unique. I was looking out the window before the sun had come up, and it was just, you know, looking at the Dallas, what a great city. And the remembrance of, you know, the Cotton Bowl game, because that's one that I'll always remember. And but to be able to come back and have a bowl game here, in reality, right? We talk about what happened last time we were in Dallas, not even just the Cotton Bowl. It is a sweet taste, and I'm not gonna make any bones about it. It feels great. I mean, it really does. And we'll play any bowl anytime, anywhere they ask us to. But to be able to get it done today in this form and fashion has been huge. And just again, like I said earlier, I don't say these are personal things, but man, I'm pleased. I'll have a smile on my face, which is rare. But I'm just so proud of the guys, and you know, so many of those guys are part of that team, and it's for those seniors to be able to send them out the right way is huge.
Your defense has been, didn't get the respect that it garnered with what they started with, but they came through today with the turnover at the right time, stop at the right time. They always get better at the end of the year. And what can you say about how that's so special at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think that's what happens, right? You look, we played a fantastic when we started the season versus Mississippi State. I was like, I just knew what a tough opponent that was, and you portray that to everybody, but it doesn't matter, right? You got to go out and play ball, and we didn't play our best game, but I have seen growth in our defense, and you know, we played 14 different guys in our secondary this year. That's way too many. I talked about that midway through the season. We were at 12. I said 12 players in the secondary is way too many. But now to go play 14, that's going to bode well for our future of our program. And obviously, we had a guy like a senior that I wish I'd bring him back for another year, but Savant Oliver obviously had a big game. Quindell Johnson. We talk about those guys on the defense have stepped up their seniors, but to see the improvements, even though not always statistically in wins and losses, but I think we're seeing the growth of our defense, right? Coach Barnes and staff have done a fantastic job. The plan is to hold as much of that intact as we can together in order to continue to grow from it. And I think you talk about a whole nother year, and a system's huge. It's a complete change, right? We used to be a traditional 3-down defense front to more of a 4-down, and a variation of coverages. And I think, you know, hoping we can keep most of that together in order to grow from that for next year. Really excited about that opportunity as well.